Yay! It is time to show you how to do Magpie clue number 1. So this video is just going to help you out with tips and tricks for how to do some different little maneuvers in the first clue of Magpie. So I'm going to jump right in. You have 121 stitches provisionally cast on, and then you've done the setup row, which is a wrong side row, where you've purled a row. I just have 21 stitches on my needle and a little garter base so that you're not sitting through me doing things over and over and over again. And I'll remind you as we go through this video what's different about what you're doing than I'm doing. So I am going to be working row 1, and that starts with a knit 1. We know how to do that. And then a slip, slip, knit. And then I'm knitting 6. You are knitting 56. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to do a center double decrease. So, and we're on a right side row. I'm slipping these 2 stitches together knitwise off of the left hand needle. And then I'm knitting 1. And then I'm slipping those 2 stitches over right there. So I've taken 3 stitches and made them 1 stitch, but it's centered, right? It's not leaning to the right or the left. And now I'm going to knit another 6. You are actually knitting 56. Basically, we're just knitting to the last 3 stitches here. And then we're going to knit 2 together and knit 1. So there you have it. That is everything you need to know for row 1. Moving on to row 2, which is a wrong side row, we get to work with beads. Yay! And I'm going to be repeating what's in the brackets once. So I'm not actually repeating it, I'm just working the brackets once. You'll be repeating that 11 times across. So I'm going to purl 1, and then I'm going to purl 2. And now this next stitch, I'm purling 1 with 2 beads. So I'm going in to purl the stitch. I'm going to get 2 beads and so I'm sliding them down my yarn, but I'm not having them touch my right hand needle. I'm having them up a little bit so that when I wrap the working yarn around to make the new stitch, I can pop those beads through. Do you see how I used my fingernail and I popped them through? So they're sitting up on top of the right hand needle. You don't want to have those beads in between the stitches. They're on top of the needle. And now I'm going to go ahead and purl 2 more. And now I've got to purl 1. And now I've got a center double decrease on a wrong side row. And what this center double decrease does is mirror the center double decrease that you worked on the right side row. So I'm going to go ahead and take the center stitch. So the middle stitch, I'm going in with the right hand needle to the second stitch, going from the back right there of the left hand needle, putting my needle tip in purlwise. I'm slipping off those first 2 stitches and kind of pinching with my thumb so it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'm putting that stitch back on to the left hand needle. And now I am purling 2 together, and then with my left hand needle tip going into that slip stitch right there and lifting it up and over. And you'll see when we get to the other side that it looks exactly the same as the center double decrease on the right hand side. And now we're going to purl 1, working the bracket once here. You're working it 11 times. Now purl 2, and I am going to go get 2 more beads, slip them up so they're not quite touching the right hand needle, work the working yarn around, wrap the working yarn around, and then I've got 2 beads sitting right up there on my right hand needle. And now I'm just going to purl to the end. There we have it. That is row 2. So row 3, we need to deal with these beads that we placed when we were purling in row 2. And this is so easy. It's really fun. If you get a little confused, go ahead and look at in the notes section. I've got a little diagram of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to purl 1, and again, I'm knitting 1, and again I'm only working what's in the brackets once. You're working it 11 times. And now I'm going to knit 2 together, and then yarn over, and here I am to the stitch with 2 beads. I want one bead to come to the front of the right hand needle and one bead to come to the back of the left hand needle. So do you see that? I've got one bead there and one bead there, and I'm going to go ahead and knit that stitch. And I've got those two beads, one on each side, and then I'm going to yarn over. And here I am slip slip knitting right there. So you can see those beads, one is on the right leg and one is on the left leg. And now I'm going to do a centered double decrease. We know how to do that. And now I'm going to knit two together. I'm working a bracket again, yarn over. Again, I'm to those two beads, one to the right leg, one to the left leg, which is the front and the back of the left hand needle. And then I'm going to knit one, yarn over, slip slip knit again, and knit the last stitch. So there you have it. That is row number 3, and that teaches you all the tricks that you need to know. There is a separate video that shows you how to unzip a provisional cast on, so when you get to that step, if you want to review how to do that, go ahead and watch that video. I can't wait to see what you guys think of this shaping you're creating and what it is you think you're making. Happy knitting!